my Math Netflix students. I am here to show you how we're going to do our graphs for our M&M project. I'm so excited because this is our last project of the year. So come on with me. So the first thing we're going to do is what we did in class. We're going to do our chart in class. You'll remember that we totaled up all of our M&Ms, and then we made fractions out of them, and then we converted from fractions to decimals, and then we went from decimals to percents. So with that information, we're going to take the decimals and percents, and we're going to make graphs out of them. So come along with me. So the very first thing we're going to do, eventually your graph is going to look like this. We're going to make a bar graph. So the very first thing you're going to do to make your bar graph is on graph paper. You must use graph paper. You're going to draw a big L like we've done in class. And remember, it's along the line. Remember that on the bottom, we're going to do colors. So you're going to label the bottom colors. This is the x-axis. And this, of course, is the y-axis. And then along the side are going to be the amounts of your M&Ms. Okay? So with that, we are going to label our graph with the colors. How? But this is a little tricky. When you get all of your information in, the one thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your totals on your chart when you sort your M&Ms. You are going to make your bars go from greatest to least. So if you take a look closely at my paper, you'll notice that the greatest amount of M&Ms in my bag was 12. So, and it was blue. So I'm going to write blue first. This is going to be blue. And then my next one, which was 7, is brown. So I'm going to put brown. Remember, we're going from greatest to least. So then you'll notice next on my chart is green, because green has 5. So we're going to do green. And then after green is red, because red is 4. So we're going to do red. And then after red is orange. I got to make my line a little bit longer to fit my last one. So then you'll notice that yellow only had one yellow M&M. So I'm going to do yellow. Yellow is last. Okay? So you're going to do this. I'm doing this with a marker, but you're actually going to do it with a pencil just in case if you make a mistake. Then you'll be able to erase it. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to label our vertices 0. And then we're going to do this actually, when I did it, I'm just going to count by single numbers. But we're going to skip maybe every 2 lines. Yeah, I would say do every 2 or 3 lines to make your numbers. So we're going to start with 0. And then I'm going to skip a couple of lines. And I'm going to do 1. So I'm going to do that for you, because you really want to space them out, and you really want to have a bar graph that is going to indicate all of your colors. And remember, you want to use your lines as much as possible, because remember, we count lines, not boxes. At least when we're making our lines. Okay, so then it should look like this. All right, so our next thing, after I look at my chart that I created, my sorting chart, I'll notice that blue had 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with blue. So I'm going to take my blue color. I could use a marker or a crayon or a colored pencil. And so I'm going to go all the way to the top here and go to 12. And then I would suggest that you maybe make it three boxes going across like this. And then you're going to take your time and color this in. But for lieu of time, you're going to make yours nice and pretty. But I'm just going to color it in so it looks like this. So here's our 12. And then I'm going to label it 12. Okay? Now, my next one was brown. So I'm going to look back on my chart and I noticed that my brown was 7. So then I'm going to come up and I'm maybe going to skip 2 or 3 lines and I'm going to go up to 7. Uh-oh. Let me start with, that was a red. So let me do red. Sorry. So here's our red and we're going to go up to 7. And then come over and we want to make our bars look the exact same. So they should, like I did 3 across to make my bar, then you should do 3 across to make your bar. So that all the bars look the same width. So now this is 7. So now we know the colors in your M&M bag was brown. I'm using this as brown because I don't have a brown. All right. So now we're going to go to our next color, which I'll notice that mine is green. So, and I'm going to go to on here, and I noticed that I had 5 green M&Ms. So I'm going to move over about 3 again, and I'm going to go up to 5. And then make my bar. And then color it in. You guys are going to color it in much better than me. And do your very best. And then on the top, you're going to put that you have 5 green M&Ms. Okay? And then, of course, my next one is red. That was a red one. So I'm going to use red for this. I'm going to come over. And I noticed that my red was 4. So I'm going to move on up and I'm going to match it with 4. I'm going to come over. I'm going to mix this one because I know it looks like I had the same color all over again. But this is officially my red. I'll mix it with something else in here and make it a little darker than the other one. You guys know that this was really my brown. Okay, I'm going to label this that this was brown. Because Miss Hamilton doesn't have a brown. All right, so then our next one, we'll notice that on my chart was orange. And orange is 3. So I'm going to use my orange crayon or colored pencil or marker. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to go to 3. And then come over and I'm going to make the same size bar. And then here's my orange. My orange looks a little bit like my red, but I don't know why. Oh, you know the one thing I didn't do. So I'm going to label this one 3, but this one was 4. So I got to put my numbers on top. It just lets us easily see the numbers right away on the bars. Okay. And then my last one is yellow. And yellow was 1. I only had one little bitty itty yellow M&M. So you know you can barely see my yellow. Here's my yellow down here, and it was 1. And then I'll label it. I'm going to label another color so you can see it. It was only 1 of those. So you'll see that your bars are going to look like this. This is your bar graph representing all of the colors that are in your M&Ms. Okay, again, you're going to make your graph. You're going to make your L shape with your x-axis and then your y-axis. And then you're going to start off with 0. Okay, and then maybe every 2 lines, you're going to make a number. Remember that we number lines and not boxes. Remember, we're on a number lines and not boxes. Now, when we do our x-axis, we're going to label down here that this is colors. Don't forget, you need to label that this is the colors. And then you're going to put yours in the order of how many colors you have in your M&M bag. So everyone's M&M bag is going to look different, as you guys will see when you sort in class. But you're going to put them in order from least to greatest. Over here, you'll notice that this is the y-axis, and this is the amount. So you're going to label colors and amounts. Colors, amounts. Okay, now one last thing that you must do is we are going to entitle this amount of M&Ms. Okay? Because we should always be able to tell on a graph what is the data that we are looking at. So you must have a title. You'll notice that on your rubric, I will say you must have a title. You must have it colored. You must have everything labeled. Okay? So I'm expecting you guys to do a great job. I can't wait to see your bar graphs and what they're going to look like. And that's it for now.